Bestie Kai here.
Hello!
You sound like Mrs. Doubtfire.
That's the point, yeah.
I love it.
Should I put a pie in my face?
Yes!
Look over the fridge. Hello! Me and Anne were just talking about parenting.
In the
and
22nd century, basically.
Well, it's still the 21st, Anne. We're not going to let this in the 22nd century.
Are we going to have children with... Oh, okay, guess
Anne,
so.
it's 2020.
Okay, fine.
We're still looking at 980 years. Okay, anyway, we were talking about, because the world, I don't know if you agree with this, but I think that the world is still pretty much in the infancy when it comes to social media and serious electronics taking over our lives if you're a fucking boomer. And since we are the generation that's going to really teach those that come after us how to deal with these things and, you know, what's the word I'm looking for, Anne? Raise them, that's easy. How to conduct themselves throughout this whole process. Mm-hmm. So we were discussing that, Anne?
So my theory on this is, for my children at least, because of, I think bullying is an all-time high. Suicide rates in children is an all-time high.
Let's find out.
I love that Andy, just computer. Yes, let's figure this.
Stopbullying.gov. What's the government doing about it? Nothing. They like to pretend they are to get more of our money from us. But in reality, hardly any of the money that we give into them from our paychecks every 2 weeks that we really need that money is going to schooling at all. Okay, so how the government is defining bullying is unwanted aggressive behavior or observed or perceived power imbalance and repetition of behaviors or high likelihood of repetition.
What?
That's how they describe bullying? And how would you describe bullying?
People being fucking horrendously evil and mean to an individual and singling them out or making them
So
feel
if you were
shitty
going to
in
put it
general.
into a definition.
Oh god, I don't know definitions.
I was on board when they were saying unwanted aggressive behavior because that's totally true.
Singling people out is another.
Singling people out. Okay, so we're going to talk about the symptoms of bullying really quick.
Oh.
So there is unwanted aggressive behavior. There is singling people out.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be physical. It can also be...
Mentally.
I would say excluding people as well. Because you don't have to say anything mean to somebody to let them know that they're unwanted.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that bullying can actually be summed up in that one word, unwanted. Making somebody feel like
They're unwanted.
they're unwanted.
I like that. I don't like that, but like I like the. Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't like that, but I like it. You see. Okay, here we go. Physical, verbal, relational. Okay, and damage to property.
Mm-hmm.
They're excluding social media here, which is interesting because this is 2014.
That can also include verbal, though. The verbal doesn't always have to be actually
But
spoken.
but verbal, directly means like speaking.
But I think in some cases, some people don't always consider verbal as just through speak now because of social media becoming so high. A verbal conversation can also be through social media.
I see what you mean, but I think that cyberbullying should have its own thing.
I think so too, because I think for, like, I myself, obviously, seeing as I'm now on YouTube and shit, I've been a victim of some cyberbullying. Nothing too horrendous, thank God, because I don't know how I'd handle that. For the most part, where I've been with cyberbullying, I deleted a Tumblr due to it at one point, but it's never been, like, affected my day-to-day life. But for some people, it really does. Like, it really, really fucks with them.
Mine did a lot. But kids younger than us now, like kids right now, have it way worse. Way worse. You'll hear people say, oh, kids have it so good right now. No, they don't. No, they don't.
No.
Bullying and generally people being hateful to each other is more accepted and glossed over
and
than fucking ever. You're good. How my dad would always say is, oh, when I was a kid, I would beat the shit out of other kids.
Mm-hmm. And that's impressive. That's a good thing to them.
I also think it's a good thing. Like if someone, okay, this is me because this is what I had to do when I was being bullied. I had to get physically assertive because they would not leave me alone otherwise. But to them, that's how you would deal with things. And now physical violence in schools is treated way differently.
See, and I guess I grew up in a family of bullies. My dad's side of the family are all bullies. Like, my brother has finally kind of grown out of it a little bit, but it's glorified. Oh, I was a dick to this person. Oh, I fought this person. Da, 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 da. Like, people who even, like, I've watched some of the fights, and they don't deserve it. And even I do it a little bit by accident, where I, like, talk about the fight days. And
yeah, you do. But it was also, I mean, I feel like your attraction to that and how you feel warmth connected to that isn't because, like, oh, you're like, oh, yeah, I was such a douche. Mm-hmm. That's so cool. It's like, oh, I had a real connection with my brothers here. Mm-hmm. So that's...
And also, and this might be a male thing, but the fact that I was able to...
Express your masculinity? Or...
more so probably be physically dominant over someone else. And mind you, for me, it was always consensual, like...
It was always consensual physical violence.
I never got into fights with people who didn't, like...
want
to fight. Like, I always did the, like boxing is always in confined areas.
So what Anne is talking about is this, you should do a whole video on the fight club.
I'm not going to do a video on the fight
club.
club.
All you really need to know is it's basically that. Neighborhood kids would get together and fight each other. Mm-hmm. But,
And there was one kid who usually requested me because I was younger, and at the time I was very feminine, and he thought he could beat me up, but I won every time but once. And that is like a big bragging right to me, even though it really shouldn't be.
I understand how you feel with that, because when, like I said, I had to resort to physical violence a lot when I was, like, especially a teenager. Because before that, I was bullied a lot, but I never tried to resort to physical violence. I was very Catholic. Now I'm vehemently anti-Catholic. But I didn't want to, like, stoop myself to their level or, you know, but I eventually fucking had to. And I feel good about myself when I say, oh yeah, I fucking grabbed this cunt by her hair and threw her into a fucking locker. I'm glad I did that, because it wouldn't have stopped otherwise. And now I know I can handle it, and I have like the coping mechanisms, and I can express myself verbally well enough to put them in their place and hopefully make them cry. I'm happy that I did what I did.
So back to raising our children.
Oh yeah. Also statistics.
Oh yes.
This only what I'm looking at here goes back to 2017. So the 2017 school crime supplement indicates that nationwide, about 20% of students aged 12 to 18 experience bullying.
That seems really low to me.
I also thought it was low, but I also want to know what they mean as by experienced bullying. Because bullying, this is a breach, this is a step. I know it is, but I would say speaking out about bullying is pretty fucking similar to speaking out about rape.
Wow, rape is more taboo than bullying, but they both have a very similar effect.
When you're getting bullied, you feel violated, you feel out of control, you feel worthless. Mm-hmm. And they are similar. So speaking out about that, pointing a finger at somebody and saying they did something bad to me has this weird stigma. Anyway, the 2017 Youth Risk Behavior Surveillance System?
You know what that is, right?
No!
Okay, so basically it's taking kids who are more at risk, so people who are abused, people who are...
So kids in mental hospitals? No. Or group homes?
People who are, like, in the foster care system or that are higher risk to be bullies or to be abusive when they're adults to their children.
Methods. Let's look at their methods. Anyway, what they said... nationwide, 19% of students in grades 9 through 12 reported being bullied on school property in the 12 months preceding the survey. So nationwide, 20% of kids are saying, oh yeah, in the last year, Timmy called me a fuckface, or Johnny beat me up.
Timmy,
I really don't think that these are...
I don't think they're accurate.
I don't think they're accurate either. Plus, this is in 2017. I feel like 2019, 2020 is going to be different for this kind of shit. Maybe not 2020 because of the virus and no one's going to school. But cyberbullying could still be happening. It probably
it probably is.
Okay. 70% of school staff have seen bullying. 62% witnessed bullying 2 or more times in the last month, and 41 witnessed bullying once a week or more?
That doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me at all.
What? That's disgusting to me.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
That's disgusting. All these fucking teachers can pretend that they have actually stopped one kid from picking on another kid. Fucking teachers...
They're not saying that they stopped it. They said that they've seen it.
Okay, good point. But every teacher that I've ever had that I've expressed something to, like, oh, this kid is doing this or this kid is doing this, that I've ever fucking tried to do that, I came out to be the bad guy.
Which is fucky. And that's
totally
my mom almost attacked the dean of girls at our school once.
Oh, yeah! I remember that. Okay. How often bullied? In one large study, about 49% of children in grades 4 through 12 reported being bullied by other students at school. Yeah, 49.
So they upped it from 20% to 49 now.
In terms of frequency, that makes no sense.
Exactly.
Okay. Defining frequent involvement of bullying, such as occurring 2 or 3 times within the last month. Yeah, that's frequent.
That's not even frequent.
That ain't fucking frequent. Kids can let that shit go. I mean, except for, like, grudges.
They shouldn't let that things go. That should be frequent. That should be surprising.
It happens so much more often than that,
but
2-3 times a month.
That should be what's frequent and surprising. That should be a thing.
I don't know about surprising. All of it should be surprising.
Yeah, but in this day and age, it's not. And we treat it so flamboyantly because it's not. It's such a huge thing in our society now. And I think that sucks, which is why my kids are going to be homeschooled until they're in middle school. Then they can have the decision whether they want to go to public school or not. There ain't going to be no private schooling for my kids.
40.6% of students reported some type of frequent involvement in bullying. What do you mean by involvement
That
now?
means they're the bullies.
But that's not what they said in the previous paragraph. Oh, here we go. 30% of kids reported bullying others. And 20% of kids, 19, 15 in some cases, are reported being bullied. Do you see the disconnection there?
People are too afraid to admit to it.
People are too afraid to admit to it.
And do you know why? Because at least for our school, getting in the ice room or getting detention or getting suspended were good things. They weren't considered bad things. Oh, I had detention this many times. That's bragging rights.
I don't know where we're from, being physically aggressive or bleep tough.
Bleep tough.
Yeah. There are things to be proud of.
They're glorified.
Beating the shit out of people and getting in fights and stuff like that is, at least when we were growing up, I don't know how it is for kids now.
It's worse.
It's worse
You've
now?
seen the little girl that I used to take care of, right?
Mm-mm.
She's gorgeous. Like, she's who we would have hated back then in that day and age. Because she's pretty, she should be popular, and she's incredibly intelligent.
Okay.
Like, she'd be who I used to want to be when I was her age.
Okay.
She gets bullied.
That's not surprising to me. That's not surprising to me.
But the preps and the popular kids didn't get bullied when we were kids. They were the bullies. She's popular, and she's a prep, and she's a jock, and all those things.
Kids...
And she gets bullied by the other ones as well.
The whole bullying dynamic generally has changed.
Now everyone gets bullied.
I wouldn't say everyone. The hardcore aggressors, I do not believe that they got bullied. And I've seen it happen, even in, like, when I went to school, that the pretty kids, the really smart kids, which has always been a thing, really smart people have always been bullied.
Unless they were really pretty as well, and then it was awesome that they were smart.
Yeah, a lot of it has to do with physical appearance, and that's worse now. Mm-hmm. Because of things like
social media.
Social fucking media.
Movies.
Okay, hear me out. I'm changing the subject, sorta. But hear me out. I don't think kids should be allowed on social media until they're like 15.
I don't think they should be allowed on social
media.
I
think that it should be a law that they have to be 14, 15, 16 years old before they can even use a site like Facebook.
I'll tell you right now, my kids will. So I will not allow social media or probably the internet unless it's to listen to music or to watch a movie until they're about 14 or 15. just because I don't care if they, like, that sounds, like,
I'm
stuttering a lot.
It's almost impossible to get a phone anymore that doesn't have a million apps.
Well, I don't plan my kids having phones until they're in their teens. I don't plan on my kid having a phone until they're in middle school, and then...
Neither do I. Even the earliest I would consider giving my child a phone is like 13 years old, and then it would be a fucking flip phone.
You can't
until
flip phones anymore.
Yeah, you can. I bought one for my dad.
Really? From your dad?
For.
Oh, okay. I thought you said from your dad.
Oh, shush. I bought one for my father because his phone was going out in December. I gave it to him as a Christmas present.
Cool.
So you can still get them, but I'm saying it's difficult to find phones without apps because even the flip phone has fucking apps like YouTube and Facebook on it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, because I don't remember how old I was in middle school. I want to say I was 13 or 14 in middle school.
That's usually how middle school works, yes.
Yeah. I don't know how old I was. It was a long time ago. But
so 13, 14 is when you're in 8th grade. Just go from there either direction.
7th grade.
So you're like 12, 13?
12, 13. Okay.
So 7th grade.
My plan for raising children, you know this, is from elementary school, I want them homeschooled. I want them to be at home. They'll go to daycare. They'll go to extracurricular activities. I'm going to do the requirement of one extracurricular activity and a physical activity because I think that that's important.
It is very important.
So, like, they can pick a karate or boxing or something, and then they have to do a different extracurricular as well. It could be sports or art or whatever the heck they want to do, but there should be one of each. One kind of self-defense and one kind of normal. And then in middle school, I'm going to give them the chance to choose whether they go to school or not. If they want to go to a public school, awesome. But they also have to be aware that once they go to public school, it's not going to be back and forth.
Yeah, you have to commit to one.
Mm-hmm. So it's going to be the year before their 7th grade. It's going to be a serious conversation. And then 8th grade, we can revisit again if they're decided to go to public school or homeschool.
You know, you should maybe give them the option of private school.
I'm not giving private school. I did not plan on
my parents gave me the option to go to private school or stay in public school when I was in 5th grade. But that was because both my brothers were going to go to Central. And I only went because my brothers were going to go to Central. Doing this and freaking out while you were talking.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because cyberbullying happens the least frequently of all types of bullying. That's what I'm saying. They're fucking... When was this written? I'm going to flip my lid. Probably like 2017.
My thought process is 7th and 8th grade, they get the choice both times. If they decided to go to public school for 7th grade and they want to come back and do homeschool for another year, after that, they have to finish out their school year. Then they can. High school, I'm going to make it mandatory for them to go to a public school because they need to also learn how to deal with the real world. But by then, I'm going to instill enough confidence in my children that the bullies are going to be the ones that get sat down. And they're going to learn to stand up for other people.
Yes, I will be teaching my child that.
Yeah,
110%.
They need to be able to. They need to be
able to stand up for themselves
and for other people.
And
I don't care if my children don't like the other person. I plan on having my children have the mindset that even if they don't like this kid, if they see that kid being bullied, they step up and they help out.
If every person our age who's willing to have children, who wants to have children, just adapts that mentality and to instill that in their kids' minds.
This next generation should be better.
It will be better because the next generation after us that's going to be coming in, people younger than us already have more of a connection with all of this electronic shit than we do.
Oh yeah.
So they will. It'll be easier,
and hopefully it'll be better.
Hopefully, but we have to make that happen. And when they get old enough to be self-aware, they have to make that happen too. So.
And you know what's weird for me is, like, revisiting the bullying subject. I've had bullies as an adult apologize to me.
I have not. I have fucking not. They still all treat me like I'm a psychopath.
Which is fucking ridiculous. No, you're not.
And that was a joke. Do the zoom in.
Okay, hang on, real quick. For all of my this is an angel.
What?
You are an angel.
I am no fucking angel.
You're an angel. You're so nice and you're so kind and you're so forgiving and just...
I'm so nice and so kind and so forgiving except for when I'm not.
That's a lot of...
Then I'm a little angry. Hear me out. What if our children watch this video someday?
Hi kids. Good luck. Sorry that you got me as a parent, but you know what?
Olivia or Cole, if you're watching this right now, please comment down below. My mom is gorgeous. All caps. Thank you.
I don't care if you're Olivia or Cole. Comment down below how gorgeous this woman is.
Do it! Or don't.
Or do. You know what's weird that I used to do, and I think I probably will still occasionally do?
What?
I will turn to the camera and say, if you guys want to make a mean comment to someone online, do it down below. I mean, I'm just going to delete it, but, like, do it and get it out.
Okay.
The reason why I do that is because some people have a lot of anger in them, and if they want to, like, direct it at someone, it might as well be me, because I don't really...
No, direct it at people who deserve it, like Logan Paul.
I don't like saying things like that, though, because I don't know them personally.
You can discern a lot, I feel like.
I feel like I give a whole kind of other personality online than I actually have.
I know a lot of people do actually do that. But, okay, maybe not Logan Paul. You don't know them personally. But there are, like, celebrities and people out there that are genuinely Scientologists. Tom Cruise.
I was just about to say that. I just watched a Tom Cruise movie about him in the military, or being a lawyer in the military.
That sounds so dumb.
It was such a good movie. I used to like Tom Cruise as an actor, though, and now I'm...
Yeah, well, okay. I'm not going to tell you... Find a celebrity or fucking...
Or just do it down below, because I'm not going to care.
Or just journal your feelings.
That.
And don't take them out on other people.
I like that. And by the way, some people... So, for me, I know you probably do the deer diet. I don't even know if you do a deer. Do you do a deer?
I do not. I write a line, and then I write under it, no dates, no deer, no nothing. Just...
So, if you're not comfortable doing the Dear Diary stuff, you can do it that way. Or, for me, I feel uncomfortable writing to nobody, so I've picked a fictional character that I really like, Tony Padilla, and write to Tony Padilla in my diary.
Okay, this is turning into a whole different thing.
I'm just going to say our intake on the world today.
If you, we could just call this opinions.
Opinions with Andy,
but
Joy,
if you feel like you want to start journaling and want to start trying to do that, a little dear diary or a dear journal or a date or something like that, there's no set way you have to do it. You can experiment and see. When I first started journaling, what I would do was and I still do this to this day, I sign my name at the end. I do a signature. It's a good way to practice without being embarrassed about it. And then what I also did was I draw a little curly Q thing. So like both the curly Qs met, and that was the end of the entry. Just have some fucking fun with it. It's creativity.
And do what makes you comfortable with it, because I know for me, making it seem like I'm writing to this piece of paper, I can't do that for some reason. Like it makes me feel self-conscious
like logging
and bothered.
Shit. But I understand that. You might just want to feel like you're talking to somebody for a while. And since it's a fictional character, in a way you can kind of invent a certain way you want them to respond to you too. So run with it.
Yep.
Have fun.
I used to name my diaries.
You can write to Mr. Peanut.
Yes. Or you can write to me if you would like.
Or me.
Yeah, we'll create a P.O. box one of these days, and if you guys want to just write to us...
Create a P.O. box. Okay, Jesus.
We'll get a P.O. box one of these days.
And you can write us letters.
And if it's just about your day, I will at least try to respond to all of them. I don't know.
I will definitely read and respond to that shit. Are you kidding?
So you'll get letters from both of us with every letter you write. How cool is that?
I will never, ever, if somebody ever sends me, I don't think I will ever get fan mail in my whole life. I don't think that's ever going to happen. If I was to, I would treat it like fucking gold. I would frame that shit.
Me too.
And put it on the walls. I don't like the people on the internet that just take them and that they rip them up or do something funny with them. I don't think that's funny. I think that's mean.
I hope one day. So this is my envisionment for like this channel or for my life in general. Is I do want to become a public figure. I want that.
An influencer.
And I prefer figure because I don't want to influence anyone.
Figure.
Please don't be influenced by me. That terrifies me.
Ouch.
But I want to become a public figure someday. So I want to be well enough known that I make a difference in somebody's life. I don't care if it's even just like 2 of you guys' lives. I want to make a difference in someone's life, and I hope that someday I get fan mail. And I don't even care if it's by the same person.
It would be really cool
having a room full of wallpaper of fan mail.
It would be really cool to to be in a position in your life in which you can make someone else's life better. Someone you've never even seen, never even known.
My also goal is if I ever get big enough, like popular enough, even if there's like 50 of you, my thought process is I'll eventually get a track phone and be able to text with you guys or a phone call with you guys. Hang on, I can't read.
It says, hey, brats, what's your favorite way to get under your dom's skin?
Ooh, I gotta respond to that one of these days.
I fucking knew you would. Anyway, I think that's about enough for right now.
Okay, so have a good day, night, morning, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. Have a good one, guys. We love you. Bye.
Bye.